These are the sounds that I absolutely love. The wildlife in the spring has the most refreshing sound. It's the sound of new life and everything coming to life for the year. Freshness. Doesn't get much better than living in the country. All right, how's everybody doing? It's time again for another one of those bike vlogs. First, I'd like to thank my sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any sponsors. Hint, hint. Today, we're going gravel riding all the way to Argyle, Iowa. I'm going to go to the East West Hideout. That is the oldest tavern in Iowa. Today I want to talk to you. I want to tell you my story of the history of me bicycling and how I got so into it and why I've came to love it so much. It all started as a kid, like anybody else. My father was pushing me along, holding on to the bike, and then he'd let go and I'd go for a little ways and fall over, and we did that a few times, but I can remember the day that I took off on my own. I think a lot of people that ride a bike remember that feeling. And then I got my first bicycle not too long after that. I was fairly young. I mean, I can't remember how old I was, but I was fairly young. And it was a red Roadmaster. And I rode the wheels off that bike, literally. I rode that bike so much. My brother had a speedometer with an odometer on it that he gave me for that bike. And I can tell you that towards the end of the lifespan of that bicycle, there was several thousand miles on that odometer. I used to ride it between my dad's farms and the gravels. Used to just ride it all over the yard. I mean, that's how I got around. I didn't walk. I rode that bike. And then my grandparents, they bought me a little blue Huffy, and I used to ride that thing all over too. They kept that at their house, so I didn't have to bring my bike back and forth. When I got into high school, I started riding bikes with multiple speeds. I started riding 10 speeds and whatnot. That's when I realized the importance of a good bike, I had some friends that had some Trek bikes, and the difference when you would get on their bike and how much easier it was to pedal was just amazing. It just blew my mind how much faster you could go on them and how much smoother they were. And so that sold me. So after high school, I went to Burlington, I went to the bike shop, and I bought me a Trek mountain bike, Trek 3700 mountain bike, 2006 model. And I paid $326 for it new. And got fitted to it and everything. And rode that around quite a bit after high school. But then, like anything, as an adult, life happens. And the bike got ridden less and less. And eventually it became a fixture on my front porch. Here we are pulling up to the East West Hideout. I had myself a nice Arnold Palmer, which is half iced tea, half lemonade, for those of you that don't know. Here we are on just a short stretch of highway here I decided to take, and then we're going to jump back on the gravel again. So continuing on with my bike story, I bought my Trek 3700 mountain bike, and then as the newness wore off, it became a fixture on my front porch, and I didn't ride it much anymore. That is until 2017. In 2017, I went on sort of a health journey, and I decided that I needed to lose some weight and get healthy. And so, I had done other forms of exercise in the past. I used to run quite a bit, and I used to lift weights. but I never really stuck with it, and I never really enjoyed it. It was always torture. When it came time to go to the gym, it was always torture. And I decided there's one form of activity that's really good for you that I always liked and enjoyed my whole entire life, and that was bicycling. So I dusted off my Trek 3700 and I went for a ride. I was just going to ride down the highway and back. Well, I ended up riding all the way to Kilcook. And then I rode back home, and the next day I was a little sore, but I went out and rode again. Then I rode again. And then I started upping the mileage. I'd go 20 miles, 30 miles, and I started seeing the weight drop off. And it was so nice. My speed started going up. My waistline was going down. My attitude and everything was going up. It was just wonderful. It was just absolutely wonderful. So then I decided I needed a proper road bike. So I went back up to the bike shop and I found a killer deal on an old Trek 2300 2004 model road bike. So I bought that, and I rode and I rode and just kept losing weight, and I got to where I was riding around 100 miles a week. And then I rode Ragbri for the first time in 2017. I didn't ride all of it, but I rode part of it. And then in 2018, I got another new bicycle, which is the one that I'm on now, and that is the Trek Excalibur 8. And I rode and rode and rode, and I did Ragbri again. And now, here we are in 2019, and I'm back in the saddle, shedding off the winter weight, and loving every bit of it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comments section below.